Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and we are back again talking about Disney's Snow White actress Rachel Zegler issuing an apology after her unhinged election meltdown. But did she write it? Now, what we're talking about here is she said that no Trump supporter should have peace for the next 4 years, I'm assuming. So that is an absolute slap in the face. Not only for the simple fact that no one's going to really watch this film. This film is going to flop at the box office because I don't understand how anyone could have Gal Gadot playing the evil queen who's supposed to be looking for the most fairest girl of them all, and yet Gal Gadot is way hotter, and Rachel Zegler isn't even on the same level of on that scale as Gal Gadot. So let's get into the article from that Park Place here. Disney Snow White actress Rachel Zegler issued an apology last night for an unhinged, profanity-laced meltdown where she appeared to wish harm or misfortune against the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and the 75.5 million Americans who voted for him. I'm one of those people. But inconsistencies between the apology and the initial rant lead one to wonder, did she actually write it? So this comes to us from My Nerdy Home. It says, Rachel Zegler has apologized for lashing out at Trump supporters. The Snow White trailer is about to drop this month, and Disney is doing damage control. Hi everyone, I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared on my Instagram last week. I let my emotions get the best of me because you're an idiot. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding. Nobody's really going to believe this, honestly. You know how you truly feel now. And I am sorry, and I contributed to the negative discourse. This week has been emotional for so many of us, for overly emotional brainlets that don't think with logic, they just think with their emotions. But I firmly believe that everyone has the right to their opinion, even when it differs from my own. Clearly not. I am committed to contributing positively toward a better tomorrow. We'll see. No one really believes you, in all honesty. This will certainly be a stark about-face for Zegler, who has shown no patience or understanding for differing opinions in the past. In an Instagram post prior to the election, she encouraged anyone who wasn't voting for Vice President Kamala Harris to unfollow her. Good. Kamala Harris is a dummy. The apology came after a series of Instagram posts shared by Zegler last week came to light and went viral on X. I find myself speechless, she says, in the midst of this, another 4 years of hatred. There wasn't any 4 years of hatred with Trump. Leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in. Leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. You could just move to a state that allows you to delete your baby, you clown. Leading us towards a world that is fearful. Not really. I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I am here with you, to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. So you push forward by communism, basically, by inserting Kamala Harris rather than her being elected by the people. And you don't know anything about her policies. She's a commie. Let me just help you out. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. You can go F yourself, just like I said to the Twitter account of the Lincoln Project. Go F yourself. What's interesting is how starkly different Zegler's initial meltdown looks from her apology. In her attack against Trump supporters, she writes in all lowercase letters, yet the Rachel Zegler apology includes capitalization and flawless grammar. This leads one to wonder whether Rachel Zegler herself wrote the apology, or whether it was provided to her by a publicist or even Disney higher-ups. Oh, we all know it was the publicist. Come on. Who are we kidding ourselves now? During yesterday's Disney Q4 2024 earnings call, CEO Bob Iger ran down the slate of Disney-owned movies the company was excited for in 2025. However, Zegler's Snow White was never mentioned. Quote, look into 2025, we have an extremely positive content slate, he said, including Captain America Brave New World, Falcon. Lilo and Stitch, The Fantastic Four First Steps, which they just announced that is now going to be the Silver Surfer. It's going to be a female Silver Surfer for some stupid reason. as you're trying to introduce the Fantastic Four in after you just had the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. You decide to gender swap the Silver Surfer. What a fantastic move. Zootopia 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash, which out of all these, the only one I care about is Avatar. This seemed like an intentional omission by Iger, given the big budget remake is adapting one of Disney's most classic and beloved tales. To say there's a lot riding on Snow White would be an understatement. The film's budget has reportedly ballooned to over $500 million before marketing. When factoring in those costs plus theater cuts, Rachel Zegler's film would have to make over $1 billion to be profitable. So, I mean, even without all the ballooning costs, it still would have lost money, in my opinion. It's worth noting that Zegler has never appeared in a financially successful film. Even The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I didn't care about at all, was a huge financial step down from the first 3 Hunger Games movies. There were 4 Hunger Games movies before this one. It was the first one, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. There was 4 films. With the Snow White trailer set to debut sometime this month ahead of the film's May release, it's possible that Disney forced Zegler's hand after the massive public outcry against her. Wow, 1.3 million dislikes. Holy crap. The last trailer for Snow White still sits at a stunning like-to-dislike ratio with 96,000 likes and 1.3 million dislikes. Zegler has been a lightning rod for controversy for months now, after she went on a tirade against the original 1937 Disney animated classic, where she says, quote, "The original cartoon came out in 1937 and very evidently so, and yet it's still a classic and people still watch it. And people can still watch it to this day because it holds up very well. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. That's not how that story goes. That's how people were able to call you out on your garbage and can tell you never actually watched the film. Weird. So we didn't do that this time because you're an idiot and Disney's stupid and they always want to remake instead of just redoing a live-action version of what came before." She made waves again on social media when promoting the Malign trailer, ending her comments with, "And always remember, free Palestine." Why don't you go to Palestine and see how long you last over there? It's worth noting that Gal Gadot, Zegler's co-star in this film, is a veteran of the Israeli army. Do you believe this Rachel Zegler apology? Of course not. Do I think she wrote it? Most likely. Was it handed down to her by the Disney management? Yes, and that's why she wrote it. It was handed down to her, I believe, by Disney management, so she wouldn't suffer any more backlash, even though she's going to continue to suffer backlash. And now that the statement was put out, and most times apologies are just fake non-apologies, nobody cares. Nobody cared about your film before. You called it the 7 magical creatures rather than the 7 dwarves because you tried not to offend people because you're all bitch-made in Hollywood nowadays, because you can't offend the people that don't even pay to see your films. You don't really care about the actual fans of this film, the original film anyway, and all you care about is virtue signaling. And then telling everybody else to F off, who would probably be more interested in your film if you didn't tell them to F off. So at the end of the day, no, I don't believe the apology was legit. I believe it was handed down from Disney execs, and this movie is going to be a colossal failure, in my opinion. Just like The Little Mermaid was an absolute failure. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below how you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or go live on this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.